Hi, my name is Ann He. You probably know that I'm a sophomore studying business at WashU, that I'm in Delta Gamma, and that I'm really involved in student union. What you probably don't know about me is that I have a really cute 7-year-old baby brother. I am really struggling to find a summer internship right now, and I have never said I love you to my parents or heard them say I love you to me. I think everyone has family drama, that's not new, but it wasn't until I started surrounding myself with my friends' families that I started to realize that maybe mine was not as normal as I thought it was. My family never eats dinner together any night. I absolutely dread and hate going on family vacations. And aside from caring about what my grades are, my parents don't really know what's going on in the rest of my life. I think all of this came to light when I was in elementary school, and every single year I used to go to my friends' houses for these Christmas parties that we would have. At the end of the night, everyone would kind of sit around in a circle and pick up a home phone to call our parents one by one. All of my friends picked up their phones, had a conversation with their parents, and at the end of it said, "Bye, Mom, love you." For me, when I picked up that phone, my mom said, "All right, I'm coming," and she hung up without even saying bye. And so to an empty receiver, I said, "Bye, Mom, love you." I think this is just one of the many examples of the absolute just shame that I felt about my family and our relationship. And so fast forward a few years, actually on my 13th birthday, my parents told me that they were pregnant with a baby brother. And they told me as if it was supposed to be like such good news. But for me, that was like, my world was just absolutely crashing down. I couldn't comprehend that for the past 13 years of my life, when I was an only child, my parents were supposedly giving me 100% of their undivided attention. And now they were telling me that there was a new one coming along and that my attention would be cut in half. I didn't understand how that attention could be any lessened. So for my mom's entire pregnancy, I was just an absolute asshole to her. I, never helped her pick up the groceries. I never opened a single door for her. I wasn't even there when my brother was born. For the first few months, I really, really, really hated him. They expected me to teach him, to play with him, to read to him. And these were all things that I didn't feel like they had ever done for me. It was only a few months later that I realized that, Andrew, he's a part of our family now. And what that means is that he's going to have the exact same upbringing that I am if I don't do anything about it. I'm the only one who has an understanding of what his life would be like in our family, and so I'm the only one who has the ability to change anything about it. I've tried to be a good older sister. I try to play with him. I try to teach him. I say I love you to him as much as I can. But sometimes when we are playing, I notice that I get really frustrated really easily, and I lose my temper. I yell at him, I scream at him sometimes. And these are all things that my parents used to do to me. It freaked me out. It scared me that no matter how hard I tried to be different from my parents, at the end of the day, what if all these traits are just inevitable? I was so frustrated that it seemed like I was going to turn out exactly like my parents, and that's when I really turned to some of my closest friends in high school. That was one of the first times that I started to open up about what my family dynamic looks like. And as soon as I did, I started to realize that these stories aren't as uncommon as they might seem. My friends started sharing stories that were exactly the same, if not worse. That's when I realized that vulnerability really breeds vulnerability. I shared with my best friends, and then I shared with my classmates, and now I'm sharing with you. The more I talked about these experiences, the more that I was able to build a sense of trust and vulnerability with my friends that I realized I never had with my parents. And so, at the end of the day, despite knowing that I'm not the perfect sister to Andrew, I know that there's a community of people around me who I trust so deeply, who will be able to call me out and keep me accountable for my actions and keep me from being the person who I don't want to be.